Hello everyone and welcome to the Texas World Speedway for the running of the Lowe's Pro 600 here at Texas World. We are ready for 100 laps. It's going to be a 200-mile race, the longest in the NSDCA, and this will be a race of endurance. This beautiful Memorial Day weekend, the sun's shining here in Texas. We're ready for these 100 laps with a very low field count. 32 were on the original entry list, but we do have an extra entry starting in the 33rd position. Brady Burkhart, your pole sitter, sits on pole, obviously, and he is your points leader in that number 99 Junior per car. He wants to continue his dominant season so far, 7 top 10s and 7 top 5s. In the first 10 races, it's either boom or bust for Brady, but for 70% of this season so far, it's been a big boom. He's at 36 points over DJ Curtis, who starts further back. But Alex Beniako, Joseph Strigley in the 63 was injured last week at Pocono with a head injury after he was hit at roof first by Bobo Jones. And now the 63 driver this week is Alex Beniako, who was the one who got into Strigley. He said he felt very bad that he was the cause of it, just an aggressive move. He was trying to get to the front to unlap himself, and he got into the 63. He felt so bad. He went up to Strigley at the hospital, asked him if he would be able to drive his cup car this week at Texas World for him, and he puts it up in second. So that is a great opportunity for Beniako as well as JSR to possibly get some upgrades, get some good money to keep funding that race team. Carter Friesen starts third. He was the pole sitter last week, but Jay Jefferson in the Lowe's Pro 48 wants to take himself to not just a sponsor victory, but a home state victory. He missed out yesterday at Texas after his engine blew in the closing laps after dominating the entire race, and now JJ in this number 48, starting fourth, wants to go up, dominate this thing like he did yesterday, try to win the race. Brandon Morris in the U.S. Army colors, he starts fifth, but the first true patriotic scheme is the 65 of Stephen Wallace Jr. back there in the 6th position. He has the Frank's Red Hot Red, White, and Blue scheme out this weekend. Carson Bowers, though, a big story here after a horrible season so far. Pretty poor starting positions for most of these races. He started last or in the back 5 spots a lot this year. He starts 7th today, trying to drive his way less through the field and fight for this win immediately. Austin Murray rolls off 8th, Austin Johnson 9th, and another Texan, Cordell Smith, in the 51 this week for Johnson Performance as they finally snag another driver. Cordell starts in the 10th position. Tib Foster is another patriotic scheme. He has a red, white, and blue X-side colors here for this 40 team. He rolls off in the 11th position. Jacob Edson in a nice red, white, and blue scheme for World Ride Technology. They roll off 14th in the patriotic scheme. The Cracker Barrel 35 starts in 15th. DJ Curtis, though, is a previous winner here at Texas World. This 5 team wants to go ahead and get himself a race victory. He won this race as his second career NSDCA victory when he passed Diego Yepes in the final corner on the final lap here at Texas World 2 years ago in the Crown Royal Truck Series. Can DJ finally break through and extend that streak to 11? Burkhart and Curtis are your top 2 in points but have 0 wins. They're trying to break that today. Larry Hagan and Riley Spurley to make up row 9. That's 2 Texas Star Racing drivers as well. Hagan in a nice red, white, and blue paint scheme, and Peter Onjak returning with what was the Daytona 5 or the Sundrop 500 paint scheme there in the 44. He rolls off this race in the 19th position. Matty Porta, not in a special paint scheme, but still repping the Italian colors here for the red, white, and green colored Castrol number 20. We'll see what Porta can do, trying to get his second win on the season. Further back, Danny Lloyd in the 75 this week. There you see Cody Goforth's red, white, and blue, and Dusty Neal, who has had just a horrible last few races in comparison to how he was running the early part of the season. He's dropped to 5th in points. Pocono was pretty rough, especially issues on pit road when everyone pretty much ran out of gas on the last lap. We'll see what Dusty can do this week. He starts this race, the 28th position. Portugal colors on the 42 team. The team owner for Digital Motorsports is from Portugal. That's why they have those colors there. But more importantly, on his outside, Logan Cloud will be driving the number 50 for the remainder of the Cup Series season in the Sundrop Cup Series for Monster Motorsports. Now, there are questions circulating. Well, he said he retired. Why is he allowed to come back to a different team? Well, the rules for retirement state that you are not allowed to retire to get out of a contract, nor can you retire to come back and race full-time somewhere else. The thing with Logan Cloud, though, is he runs his contract was for Pedal to Metal Racing, and that is now reinstated. The alliance partnership between Monster and Pedal to Metal Racing means you can move drivers freely between teams, and that's what's happening here. Cloud is able to move from a Pedal to Metal Racing contract now into the Monster Motorsports car, as Pedal to Metal Racing did not want to open a second car, as Austin Murray's already struggling a bit this season, only 17th in points. Cloud will be driving this car for the remainder of the season, but he will not get a waiver. He did not miss the first races because of injury. He just opted out of the season, so he will not be eligible for the chase this year. Sebastian Kukul on Mikey Yamakaze in the back, but Jacob Rose will be driving the number 36 for Joseph Spurley Racing, the backup car for that 63 team. They saw a low entry field and decided to try to cash in on something. We'll see if Rose can run very well here at Texas World. We are ready to go racing here at Texas World. Brady Burkhart, Alex Beniako on the front row, sure to be exciting here for the Lowe's Pro 600. Let's go down trackside for the commands to fire the engines here at Texas World.
Drivers, start your engines!
Pepsi and the NSDCA have teamed up this season to bring you the Pepsi Pole Award for the fastest qualifier in all 26 Sun Drop Cup Series races this season. This week it's Brady Burkhart, your points leader by over 35 points over second place. He's looking to put himself into a further run at a title, but he wants to get a win first. He has been winless so far in the first 10 races, starting on pole here at Texas World and one of the strongest cars in the field. Can Brady finally break through and take his first win of this Sun Drop Cup Series season? With that, the engines are fired. We are ready for 100 laps here at the Lowe's Pro 600. Sure to be an entertaining one. We're back at Texas World for the first time in 2 seasons, and we're ready to get ourselves racing. Burkhart on the front row with Alex Beniako. That is big for Brady, trying to improve his point standing. He's already pretty much a race ahead. With as small as fields as we get in the Cup Series so far in this inaugural season, it's still bigger than the inaugural truck season, which is fantastic. But, you know, 36 points is a big margin when you're running this championship. I believe the bottom 5 in standings get a 1 point apiece. And other than that, pretty much 33 cars, you're not gaining 36 points in one race. So Brady is probably has this regular season title locked up at this point. There's still 8 races left, including today at Texas World. But Burkhart is going to be a driver that everyone's going to need to watch, need to keep tabs on. He has a car that could win this race. He started on pole. He was fastest in practice. Now he just has to complete the clean sweep. Beniako, though, in second in that relief driver position for Joseph Spurley. He's trying to put that car not into victory lane per se, but a top 10 run would be fantastic. The 63 team has not had a top 10 run ever. Their highest finish being 19th this year at Atlanta, as well as 19th I think was Daytona, but they've had a 19th place in Truck Series, so JSR looking for their career best finish of the season. Brady Burkhart looking for his first win this year. Green flags in the air. We are racing 100 laps around the Texas World Speedway. Big run there, out to the top. Beniako with a run on the outside, and that's going to pull him ahead of Burkhart. Into the race lead goes the 63 right off the bat, and Alex Beniako wheeling this thing right to the front. Friesen in the 85 going back through the middle, but Alex Beniako has put the 63 into the race lead, looking to lead lap number 1 here at Texas World as they come through turns 3 and 4. Now Burkhart going to mount a charge. You can get big runs coming off of these corners here. It's just like Auto Club in Michigan. Coming down the front straightaway, not going to lead the lap, though. Burkhart gets him back across the line, and he will take that race lead back here at Texas World. Jefferson, though, already bringing that 48 car up into the 3rd position. And Jefferson, home state boy right here. This is your best chance at getting a Texas winner in the Texas state here at Texas World. And now the 48 car making a move for 2nd already on that number 63 of Alex Beniako down the back straightaway. Inside line's not going to work too well here. It's actually pretty bad to run the inside line, at least that low. And you see Beniako power back off in that 63, pulling away from the 48 of Jefferson. Down the front straightaway, though. Now Beniako trying to mount a charge on Burkhart. Brady leads lap number 2, and we are 2 laps away through this event, the longest race of the NSDCA season. And now Beniako right on the back bumper of Burkhart as they come into turn number 1. Up in front, these guys have pulled away, but it is a log jam back here as they're all trying to fight their way through. Up front is launched away. Bowers now fighting there. Top 5 pulled away, but it's a pack of 2, 3 wide racing back here. Now Murray, Eves, DeLello trying to pull away and get through this one. Friesen on the outside in that 85, though, trying to make it work as they come through the corner. Bowers, Murray, Eves on that middle line. Up in front, they're battling once again, though. Here comes Beniako. He's going to lead that lap that time by in that 63 car. So this 63 team is really putting up a fight here today for Beniako and JSR, seeing if they could even snag a win with this relief driver. But now Burkhart back to the inside. That's going to be the battle for the race lead down the back straightaway, and Brady's going to clear once again coming down the back. Let's see if he could keep it into turn 3 and 4. Being pretty low into 3 and 4 is not a good idea. It really will slow you down with the bumps here on this old racing surface. But now Beniako moves right back to the back of that number 99, bringing Jay Jefferson into the fight. Look at Austin Johnson. The last time we were here at Texas World, the race winner was a part-time Monster Motorsports driver in DJ Curtis. Now Johnson here at Texas World, he's a part-time Monster Motorsports driver running in the 4th position 5 laps through this event. He's trying to go out and win this race, see if he can get that win for Monster Motorsports now. Bowers clearing to 5th. Battle for 6th between DeLello, Murray, Eves, Foster, and basically the rest of the field right back here at the back of this pack. Stuck behind 2 and 3 wide race, and 3 wide's pretty dangerous to do in here because you got to get on that inside line, and there's again just no grip down there. Spurley Tube's going to move Curtis out of the way. Up the middle comes Riley Spurley Tube as they're racing in this pack up here, and Curtis gets moved out of the way. Now Matty Porta making it 3 wide down there on that inside line. Carter Friesen in the middle of that. They are going to have to move back to the outside as Spurley Tube clears. Now they got to try to make a move heading into the corner, but now battling up there is Beniako, still all over the back of Burkhart, now looking for this race lead once again coming down the back straightaway. What a run we've already seen by JSR's number 63. 6 laps in, they're already right on the back of Brady Burkhart. And they're not just staying up here because of how they started the race. They started 2nd. They're staying up here on pace and right into the back of Burkhart. Had to get on the brakes there to stay off of the back of the 99. And now Jefferson is going to close up on that 63 for that 2nd position. Here comes Jay with a big run down the front straightaway. Burkhart pulling away, but Jefferson going to look to the inside. Not going to happen, though, as Beniako is going to hold that position on the top. And you see how much better the outside line is than this inside line. Jefferson now is going to lose a lot of time off the corner as Beniako was able to hold the throttle down for a bit longer down the through 1 and 2. But up in front, top 5 pulled away. DeLello, now Foster's cleared the pack. Curtis is trying to clear the pack as Eves is going to work that outside line in the 47. Side by side coming off of the corner. Murray coming right up on him, sliding up onto that 47. Had to get out of the gas to not hit him, and that's going to lose him a couple spots as Lane, Porta, and Spurley Tube are going to capitalize there in this battle for that 10th, top 10 positions right here. Is Murray now looking on the outside of Lane. Spurley Tube on that inside line. Up in front, they're starting to spread out. Foster trying to get around Zachary DeLello, but up in front, the top 3 looks like they might be nose to tail once again as Jefferson's back in the fight in that 48 car. Dives it on in right to the back of Beniako, looking for a move, looking for a way to get around him. And Beniako carries a lot of momentum up the track. We'll see if that'll keep him ahead of Jefferson. But Burkhart out in front, dominating this race right now. 9 laps complete here at Texas World. This track, a 2-mile oval, is a bit faster, though, than Auto Club and Michigan to get around here. Reaching 204 into the corners. You can take the corners, I think, maybe a little bit quicker than that, but this is a pretty fast racetrack here in the state of Texas, just like Texas Motor Speedway. And we had some vicious incidents yesterday. Hopefully they'll be able to be a bit more clean today in this Cup event. Now Colton Lane in the 05 looking to the inside of Porta. That's the battle, I believe, for the 8th or 9th position as they head through 3 and 4. Porta going up the track. Lane trying to keep that momentum. Tries to get a run off of the corner. He's got a nose there. Now DJ Curtis looking there. 3 wide up here between Curtis, DeLello, and Foster. As Foster had a horrible exit. And coming off the corner, now Curtis trying to pick up 2 spots in one go here. And he's going to soar it into turn 1. Give that number 5 that 6th position. Now DJ Curtis starts to set his sights on the front 5. Jefferson now into 2nd. Now he's going to be able to chase down Brady Burkhart, and that's a big threat for Brady, as Jay is one of the best in the NSDCA. Jay has 1 win this season at Richmond. He was the first driver in trucks to break the streak of first-time winners this year, at least, where they had 6 races in a row until Jay won both of the doubleheader events. Now he's looking to break that streak here. 10 races in a row. We've had 10 different winners. Could Jay be the first repeat winner? Beniako back in third in that 63, chasing down Brady Burkhart and Jay Jefferson, but Jay is coming on that number 99 car as he's chasing him down there. The 63 is definitely underpowered compared to even this top 5 cars, including the 25 and 95, and now he's staying in that third position. It's a nice job by Alex Beniako today to give himself a run, but Jefferson now has a run coming off the corner. He looks to the bottom of Brady. It's going to be a drag race coming down the front straightaway. Brady's going to lead that lap, but Jay does not want to let him have it for long. Down to the bottom on that in that 48 car goes Jay Jefferson, and now he's looking to the inside. It's not going to be the preferred line into 1 and 2, but if Brady walks it up the track just a little bit too far, Jay could capitalize. Brady, though, in the 99 is going to defend on that outside line as they come off the corner. You see Bowers back there making a move on Austin Johnson. Rest of the field going on through. A couple guys at the back. There you see the 36 car. There's a lot of slower cars at the back of this one. Kukulon into the back wall. Dusty Neal now is starting to move his way through the field, but it's going to take him a long while. Started this race from the 28th position, and passing can be at a premium here at Texas World, so we'll see how that will work as they come on around. But up in front now, Burkhart's pulled back away from Jefferson. Top 3 pulling away. Austin Johnson working back to the inside of Carson Bowers as they're fighting for that top 5 position. Down into the corner. And that will be Austin Johnson in the 95, taking that 4th position away, now setting his sights further on up. DJ Curtis has cleared the hubbub. He's back into that 6th position. Colton Lane clear into 7th. Tib Foster trying to hang on over the rest of the pack. He sits 8th. Zachary DeLilla 9th, and Riley Spurley in 10th. On Jack Yepes, Porta, and Eves fighting outside. That's your top 14 right there that have pretty much pulled away from the field. 13 laps complete here at Texas World. Burkhart, your race leader. Jefferson, 2nd. Beniako, Johnson, and Bowers, your top 5. We're going to go ahead, take a quick commercial break, bring guys back to the action here at the Lowe's Pro 600 right after this.
With our patented Hex-Tech grips, Cobalt tools are tough to put down.
Try it now.
What are you doing up there, Jimmy?
Welding, Chad.
Get in the car. Pipe reps. Hey, Jimmy.
Cobalt tools, tough to put down. Available exclusively at Lowe's.
Back live here at the Lowe's Pro 600 at Texas World. Brady Burkhart has opened up a gap over Jay Jefferson, Alex Beniako, Carson Bowers, and now DJ Curtis, who has taken that 5th position. One car, we had an incident on the track under commercial break. Gatlin Downey got into the outside wall, bounced off of it, slid into the inside grass, and hit the inside wall. So that 35 is damaged up. He came down to try to repair it. It doesn't look like they got to the left side, really, but they tried to fix the right side at least. He is now 1 lap down, possibly going 2 down if Burkhart and Jefferson catch him big time. And now Jay mounting up yet another charge in that 48. Again, very hard to get a move done, but here he goes, dive into the inside, tried to make it work. The outside line is the preferred line in 1 and 2, but Burkhart pretty high there. We'll see if Jay can mount the run coming off of the corner, as Jay's going to have momentum. Here he comes back to the inside, looking for the race lead here, down into turn number 3. If he can dive it on in, he could take the race lead away from Burkhart, and he's going to hold that inside line. Burkhart drops back, give it to Jay Jefferson, your new race leader here at Texas World, but Burkhart going to mount a run on that outside line coming back off of turn number 3 and 4, and he goes right back to the inside. The crossover with the 99. Who's going to lead that lap? might have been Jay, and it was by just a nick of time. He leads it, but Burkhart with a big run off of 4. Jay had to send it in and then had to slow it up as he was coming out of 3 and 4, and that gives Burkhart the amount of room he needed to use that outside line, but Jay's not done. He's coming right back to the inside. 20 of 100 complete. We're 1/5 of the way through this race, and now Jefferson back to the inside on Burkhart, looking for that race lead. If he can make it stick this time into 3 and 4. Burkhart on the outside, Jay on the inside. Brady sends it on the outside line, and he's going to take it that time. Jay was a little too slow on the inside. Brady uses that outside line, and he's going to mount a big run off the corner once again. So now Burkhart back out in the race lead. He's got to be scared now. Jay knows how to get a pass done. He just doesn't know how to hold it there. So we'll have to see if Jay can mount another charge as this race goes on. But the tires starting to wear here at Texas World. You got a lot of guys making moves around this racetrack, but it looks pretty much single filed out so far. DJ Curtis, though, man on a mission, started this race in the number 5. He started this race 16th. 20 laps later, he is in the 4th position and chasing these guys down 2.5 seconds back. He's passed his teammates, and look at that, really, Carter Friesen the furthest back of his teammates. Carter sits 16th, but right now Monster Motorsports 4th, 5th, and 6th. A great day there, and don't forget Logan Cloud and his first start back in about half a year. That 50 team not doing too well. It's a brand new car. He's running right now in the 29th position. Looking further back, Jacob Rose in the 36 has moved some spots up for Joseph Sergely's backup car, basically. He's inside the 28th position after starting this race dead last and 33rd for not qualifying or practicing. Not doing too bad. Has passed a couple guys right now in that number 36 car. Larry Hagan back to struggling, it seems. He's at the back of this one. And Sebastian Kukulon, he's 6th in points with 0 wins, but he's been consistent this year. Right now at the back, not too good right now for him. Mikey Yamakaze was the slowest in qualifying, started this race 32nd. And Cordell Smith started this race 10th. He's already dropping outside of the top 25 as Kukulon and Yamakaze go by him. Dusty Neal, though, started this race 28th. He is up, looks like, into the 21st position, so not too big of a gain, but right now being consistent and slowly working his way through. DJ Gibson, Austin Murray back there. There's Ryan Butcher, Jacob Edson, Carter Friesen, Morris, DeLello, Eves, a pack of cars up here, including Spurley, Porta, Foster, Onjak, and Yepes. And it looks like Curtis has moved his way around the 63 of Beniako. So DJ Curtis is right now on fire in that 5. Burkhart, Beniako, and Jefferson have set the fastest laps, but Curtis was 6th with the 6th fastest lap after starting 16th, working his way through the field. That is great to see for that 5 team. And we'll see, maybe Curtis could be your fan favorite to win this race as he is catching Jefferson by a ton. Burkhart has pulled away. Jay, it looks like, used up his equipment trying to get around the 99 earlier as Curtis now sets his sight on the 48 car. But DJ has a lot of time to make up if he wants to catch that 99. It's one of the fastest cars on the grid, as well as this 48 and the 5 car. So these are basically 3 of the best drivers and cars in the field. And Curtis is tearing on up. He's right on the back of Jay, has a big amount of momentum, and now looking to the inside down the front stretch. Jay couldn't make a pass on the inside of Burkhart. We'll see if DJ can make a pass on the inside of JJ. And now as they come through 1 and 2, Curtis, now he's going to carry some momentum up the track, trying to get a run off of the corner. He's still gained about half a second on Burkhart in the last few laps, but it looks like it's going to stall out now as he's got to try to work his way past Jay. These cars are a bit clunky. They can take up a lot of space, and that inside line isn't always the best to run. You see right now single file, it's pretty good to run. You can run that nicely, but coming through corners and you got that dirty air on you, it's going to be hard to make some passes here as this race progresses. So we might be seeing some big moves under pit stops as we are 1/4 of the way through this race. And we'll go ahead and do a quick through the field as they've been running so far before this round of pit stops that should be coming up shortly. Brady Burkhart in the 99, your points leader. 7 top 5s in the first 10 races. The only driver to do that, but DJ Curtis has 6 top 5s in the first 10 races. Both Brady and DJ are boom or bust, but it is really showing this season that their consistency of getting more top 5s than finishes outside of it so far is really paying off and putting them up in the points. He has a 36-point gap over DJ Curtis. Curtis in the 5, of course, sitting back in the 3rd position, but Brady with this Juniper team for Shade Burkhart Racing trying to get Toyota back into victory lane, and this year for the Cup Series. Jay Jefferson in second. He's a Richmond winner, a 3-time Richmond winner in all 3 National Series divisions. This driver is one of the best in the grid, and he's been considered to be in contention for the greatest of all time status with Diego Yepes, but he has less wins and no championship. This year in the trucks, he's trying to do that, and he is on fire for a championship run in the 48 car. However, in the Cup Series, it's not as cut and dry. He's fallen back to 10th in points. Right now, just trying to save what was a pretty bad start to the season. This 48 team working their way through the grid there. The 63 is starting to fade quickly. Don't know what the issue is, but Beniako is very slow in that 63 car. A great start there. I just noticed on the ticker he was 20th. Looks like there's an issue with the 63, not known yet, but they are very slow. They might have to come on in soon to try to get whatever's adjusted on the car, but what could have been a great run today. He's right now 28 out of 100. He was up in the top 5. It looks like this day is going to go away from him in that 63 as he is very slow on the track as well. The 36 starting to fade, so the JSR cars might be having some issues. Continuing through the field, talk about DJ Curtis here. He won his second career Crown Royal Truck Series race here in a part-time entry in the number 13. A week after the spin-in win at Darlington, he came out to Texas World and passed Diego Yepes on the final corner of the final lap with a big run coming off of the corner, just like he's about to pull on Jay right here for second. This 5 team is fast. They're saying the car is set up perfectly for these long runs, and we'll have to see if this 5 car can come alive in the second part of this race as he moves around Jay Jefferson for second as they are closing in on those pit stops. They don't need to do any adjustments to it. He said the car is just a little tight when it hits the bottom of the track. He has to hope that he will be able to continue on in this 5 car with the charge up front. Only 1 car remaining. Colton Lane in 4th. It's a great performance right now for the 05 team. They're sitting just 4 seconds off of the race leader, and they're all alone. Colton Lane is somehow a championship contender in this Cup Series season. 11th in points entering this race, but has the win from Road America that would lock him in for a wild card spot. He wants to point his way in, though, so he can get those sweet 5 bonus points into the chase for a race win. This 05 team and Colton Lane looking to put themselves back into victory lane here at Texas World today, just like the other Monster Motorsports drivers before him. And in 5th, Austin Johnson, the part-time entry that's running the highest for Monster Motorsports today. He's starting to fade a little bit as you see Team Boss pulling up behind him. He's fought off Carson Bowers in the early stages, but he's saying the tire's going away from him. He's feeling just slow in that race car, hoping that this next pit stop, this round of pit stops, will be able to give him the speed back that he had at the beginning of this race. Diego Yepes moves himself into 5th. Your Pocono winner on a late race run. He had saved enough fuel, was able to come home with the race victory. Nice to see Yepes back into victory lane, but now for Butcher Gatorade Motorsports, he has his sights set on a title. He and Brandon Morris have been the shining stars of BGM here in the Cup Series, and Matthew Brown in the trucks has shown that he might even be Cup potential, winning earlier this season the Crown Royal 300, as well as being a championship contender there. Yepes sitting right now in the 12th position in points. He has that second wildcard spot over Larry Hagan, who's a few spots behind him in points. Yepes in this 5th position right now, charging his way to the front. He's got it done here at Texas World before, except for the final laps. This driver has led the most laps at Texas World, but never won the race, with a pass at the end of the first one on pit strategy by Blake Maurice, and the pass at the end of the second Texas World race by driver DJ Curtis. Back in 7th is the Italian Matty Porta. He got his first win in the Cup Series season and first win in over 4 years at Steelback earlier this year in the Cup Series. He's right now running inside the top 10. He's feeling, he says the car is feeling good. He says they set it up well, but it's still not able to pass guys as fast as some of the guys like DJ Curtis and the others. Now he's working his way around Austin Johnson, that 20 team, hoping that they will be able to get themselves back into victory lane this year. But more importantly, they won a championship win for Matty Porta. He was close for multiple seasons. He's been a championship threat year in and year out, but this 20 team just not working well once the chase begins. Peter Onjak sits 8th in points, or 8th in this race as he's fighting off his driver Carson Bowers. The USA Menards paint scheme here for Peter Onjak. He's happy to see how this race is going. It looks like, though, I just want to point out, Burkhart has been passed by the top two, so Jefferson and Curtis have gotten by there in that 5 and 48, so Brady's starting to fade. But as we were talking about Peter Onjak, it's good to see him out here in these races. He's trying to get his second win of the season right now inside the top 10. Carson Bowers seated in the 9th position. He's had poor qualifying efforts, poor race efforts. He's seated right now in the 18th position as he's starting to gain himself through the field. It looks like Porta might have slapped the wall there. But Carson Bowers, he's happy that he doesn't have to fight his way through the field this race, but it's just not hooking up with him. He's not able to pass guys as well as he usually is. And right now, sitting in 9th, it's not doing too hot for him, but it is still a top 10 run. Battle for 10th is Carter Friesen, Riley Spurley tube. Carter Friesen in the 85. He's hoping that he will be able to get a second win this season. Won at Atlanta in a great fuel mileage race to the end. He had a pit stop of about, 15 laps to go. Had to fight off DJ Curtis for the race win, and he was able to get around him in the closing laps. Took that race lead. Carter's saying his car is not as strong as the rest of the Monster Motorsports entries this weekend, and he doesn't think that it's going to be able to hang up front for too much longer. 75 and 63 have now gone down a lap. It looks like they did come in to repair or fix that number 63's issues, and Danny Lloyd or Daniel Cobbs in that car this week also came in. So it looks like the fuel window is starting to open it up. 35 laps in, meaning you could do this in a 2-stop race, which would be a nice strategy change there. Hopefully they do not end up running out of fuel like we've seen multiple times this year. Jay Jefferson in the race lead, DJ Curtis second, Brady Burkhart third. We're going to go ahead, get you another commercial break, bring guys back to the pit stops for the race leaders as we're closing in on that pit window. Let's bring guys back to the action right after this at the Lowe's Pro 600 at Texas World.
When I'm hungry for the great steak of Texas, I always go to the Texas Roadhouse.
Folks like Willie love Texas Roadhouse for our famous hand-cut steaks, each one grilled to perfection to lock in the flavor and juices for that unmistakable Texas Roadhouse taste.
If you're ready for a good night of fun and partying, go to the Texas Roadhouse. They know how to do it right.
With a mouth-watering taste you'll want again and again. Only remember,
If it doesn't say Texas, it's not Texas Roadhouse.
Back live here at the Texas World Speedway. We're here for the Lowe's Pro 600 in the Cup Series. Battle for second raging on between Curtis and Burkhart, and Brady getting a full send out to the inside of DJ. But it's Jay Jefferson remaining this 48 car out in the race lead, just like he did at Texas yesterday, trying to win this race in that 48 team. Right now, 40 of 100 complete. We are 4/10 of the way, 2/5 of the way through the event, closing in on halfway shortly. Zachary DeLello at the back here. He's also come down pit road, including with him Alex Beniako, Daniel Cobbza, Gatlin Downey, who repaired some damage, Casey Mears, Luke Evans, and the 51 of Cordell Smith. So it looks like a lot of varying pit strategy here is happening right now. And a couple things to note. Diego Yepes up to 4th, Onjak into 5th. Austin Johnson's car seeming to really fade. Carson Bowers as well. But as the field continues on, there you see the 63 and 75. They're on fresher tires trying to drive back through. So it's going to be a very different strategy for a lot of drivers. They've been coming in the last 10 laps, and these leaders are still out there. So either they're saving tires well, or those backmarker guys are trying to play a very alternate strategy. Try to get themselves into victory lane or just up to the front of the field even. DJ Curtis, though, has cleared Burkhart for that second position. 41 laps in, and it's been pretty clean. Gatlin Downey's the only incident we've had on track, and this field's starting to really spread out, so that's nice to see as Curtis remaining in that second position. Saying on the radio his car's feeling a bit more tight. Colton Lane, notice on the ticker he's come down pit road, but Curtis saying his car's feeling a bit more tight now that he got in that battle with those guys. Not sure if he has any damage to the side of that car. Might have felt something from contact with either Jay Jefferson or Brady Burkhart. He's not sure, but it sounds like there might be a handling issue now on the 5, and that's why he's starting to drop back from Jay Jefferson. He's held over Burkhart, but Brady not happy with how his tires are. He's saying the tires are shot on that 99 car, and he's lost the lead now. He's going to have to limp it around for a little bit longer. These leaders might be the ones trying to make it on a one-stop race, which in this long of an event, I didn't think that the tires and fuel would last this long here at Texas World, but they are. And right now, these guys could be trying to make it on a one-stop event as they're racing around here. There goes DeLello. Jacob Rose, the last car in the lead lap in the 25th position. Here's Stephen Wallace Jr., the rest of the field as they go all on by. Logan Cloud up to the 21st spot due to some of this varying pit strategy. Colton Lane actually has damage to that car. 3 wide up here. Beniako and the 75 of Kabza on those fresher tires trying to get back up. The 95 bounces off the wall there. Turn 2, really a bad corner for a lot of these guys here at Texas World. So they are hammering the side of those cars pretty hard coming off of those corners. And now you saw Colton Lane was still on pit road. He was repairing some damage to that 05. It might be worse on the 05. There's an engine issue. Almost fatal engine issue to Colton Lane. That's what that was. So Lane is actually probably going to be out of this race. But out in front continues Jay Jefferson, continues DJ Curtis. Colton Lane now 3 laps down. He will most likely finish this race last. But we're going to do a flyby there down the back. Jefferson has opened up a big gap over DJ Curtis and Brady Burkhart. Back and forth. It's a big distance to Yepes. Crash back there on Jack and his driver Daniel Kabza into the outside wall. And that should be a caution. Caution is out. And Peter Onjak was in a top 5 run. Daniel Kabza is his driver. Onjak paid Tony Zhang Motorsports to field Kabza this week, and he's going to be his undoing. Kabza puts team boss Peter Onjak into the wall. That's going to ruin half of these guys' strategy because, again, there's no lucky dog rule here in the NSDCA, so that pretty much kills any chance for the 63 of Alex Beniako, the 51 Cordell Smith, Gatlin Downey, all those guys. That's pretty much their day done. And it's been diagnosed an ignition failure on the 05. His day is done. But that's going to kill all their chances there. And now, 45 of 100 complete. All these lead lap guys were able to stretch it that far. The thing is, could this be a one-stop race now? How this is, they'd have to go 55 laps to the end of this one. But pretty much at this point, come on in. There's no point to it. The lap cars are going to have to stay out the extra lap, but pretty much come on in. If you're on the lead lap, you're definitely coming on in. But everyone, it looks like, is coming on in that is on the lead lap, so they will go to the attention of their pit crews. That's heartbreaking for Alex Beniako. Came down early, must have been a differing strategy, but something was wrong with that 63 car. He brings it on down now. And the field rushes on into their pit stalls. A bit of contact there between Morris and Friesen actually into the 48 there as everyone's still coming on into their pit boxes. Hopefully no one ends up hitting. This has been shown as a very tough pit road to get onto and out of here at Texas World. And Jay Jefferson, Burkhart's going to beat him out. Contact there. The top 3 are in an incident coming off a pit road, and that's going to be big for the rest of the field. Burkhart leads them out. He now has right side damage. They were 3 wide coming off. And you can't, pit road is very busy. You understand pit road's very busy, but you can't come out 3 wide. Mikey Yamakaze has some rear end damage, but you can't come out 3 wide. And now that's going to damage the 48, the 5, and the 99. That could be big now for drivers in this grid that could be trying to win these races. And Luke Evans, I don't know how he came down pit road because, I don't know how he came down pit road with the race leaders because that's like against the rules. So we'll see what happened there. But Brady Burkhart is your race leader. He led them off of pit road. Curtis Jefferson back there, 2nd and 3rd. DJ not happy with Burkhart. JJ is furious with Brady coming out right in front of those guys. They were 2 wide. You either go straight out of your pit box or you just got to wait for them to go past, lose a couple spots. But that is big, heavy damage now to multiple drivers that were dominating this race, and DJ Curtis gets the worst of it in that number 5. JJ, it looks like his car is mostly clean. It might have just been some incidental contact, but the 99 has now a tire scrape to the side, and these top 4, it looks like, are staying out, so we will have lap cars in front of these guys fighting in here. Actually, lap cars all throughout this field fighting in here. But this pretty much here, the 63, 51, 07, 57, they're trying to get their lap back. They're staying out to try to get their lap back here at Texas World so they could try to contend and hope maybe another caution immediately. But Mikey Yamakaze also has damage to the 30. We'll have to see if there was an issue getting onto pit road or what happened to the 30 car. But Peter Onjak, Daniel Cobbs get around, turn themselves around to bring us to the first caution of the day. Let's take a quick look, see what happened there. Peter Onjak going a bit slower in the 44. Daniel Cobbs looks to his outside. Onjak made a move up to let the 63 by, but they make contact and a pretty big hit into the wall for both the 75 and 44. That's going to be some right side damage to both of those cars. Peter goes spinning through the grass. Cobbs, though, with some heavy damage. We were on board with him. Onjak just came up. Cobbs tried to go squeeze to the outside. Did not work. 2 drivers into the wall for this first caution of the day here at Texas World.
Don't mess with Texas.
Back live here at the Lowe's Pro 600 here at Texas World. We've got 4 lap cars trying to get themselves back on the lead lap. Alex Beniako, Cordell Smith, Casey Mears, and Zachary DeLello. In front of your race leaders, Brady Burkhart, Jay Jefferson, DJ Curtis, Diego Yepes, and Brandon Morris, your top 5, with the 42 of Luke Evans in the middle of that. An incident on pit road coming off of pit road is what has pretty much damaged the 99, 48, and 5. The 48, the cleanest out of all of them. The 5, the worst. So we'll have to see if these guys can keep pace up here. Curtis, not too happy about it with Burkhart and Jefferson. They were too wide coming off of pit road, were the 48 and 5, but Brady just came out, I guess tried to stop them and tried to take that race lead, and they all just collided. So this top 3 might not be the top 3 at the end, depending on how that is. But we will be going back racing just over or just under halfway here. 52 laps to go here at Texas World. Burkhart, Jefferson, Curtis, Yepes, and Morris are your top 5 coming down the front straightaway. You got 4 lap cars in front trying to hang on and see if they can get their laps back if we get a quick caution. Green flag's back in the air. We're racing once again here at Texas World. Jefferson does not get a good restart. That might be an issue for the 48 car there, as he's really slow getting the jump. Burkhart's there making him staying up with these lead lap driver or lap cars. Yepes, though, in the 77, this might be an issue for the 48 and 5, because now Yepes and Morris and Edson. Look at Jacob Edson in the 82 up here in the top 6, as there it looks like they might just fly past the 48 and 5. The 63 is slow. Beniako looks slow. Again, these guys are on older tires. Those front 4 are on like 15, 20 lap older tires than the rest of them. But now Yepes is in it. Jay Jefferson's held up by Casey Mears. He really can't get around, as you got Edson to the bottom. But now Diego Yepes in the 77 looking to go 2 in a row here in that car. He's down to the bottom of Burkhart. Diego is the driver with the most back-to-back race wins in the NSDCA. He got 2 in his 4-win season championship 2 years ago in the Truck Series, and he's had, I believe, 1 other back-to-back victory weekend in the inaugural season of the NSDCA Crown Royal Truck Series. So Yepes now looking to do it in the Cup Series as well in that 77, chasing down the dominant driver of the day, Brady Burkhart, until that the end of that. Basically, at the end of those laps there, Jefferson and Curtis really caught him. But now Jay has finally gotten past the 07. He knows he's still on probation for these lap cars, so maybe that's why he didn't just dump the 07 into the wall. But now Jay has a lot of ground to make up if he wants to get back up to the front. And again, it's legal for those lap cars to stay out because you're trying to get your lap back. Any other way, you're probably not going to get your lap back. And you see Cordell Smith and DeLello are still just hoping and praying for a caution, as they're going to go 3 wide down the back. Burkhart almost into DeLello, but Yepes is going to use that as an opportunity for the race lead. Here comes the 77, one of the strongest at Texas World. Looking to the bottom here, and now Yepes trying to get that run, trying to get the momentum off the corner. Side by side between the top 2 Toyotas. Look at Edson and Morris in here. Diego Yepes, though, is going to take that 77 into the race lead. Give him the race lead here at Texas World. And now Jacob Edson, Brandon Morris making it 3 wide on Burkhart. Going to squeeze down into the inside as they are racing once again here. And now Burkhart using that very outside line. Yepes has to get around Cordell Smith still. DeLello, it looks like, might be holding up and giving them some dirty air. But if Yepes can clear Cordell, that'll pretty much take those guys that stayed out on the lead lap trying to get their lap back out of this one. and make that plane a failure. But Burkhart now, Yepes has gotten around Cordell. Burkhart can't slide up and complete the pass yet, so that's going to cost him a little bit of time. Morris is now third. Bowers fighting in fourth, but look at Jay Jefferson. You know that man is mad because he is straight up pushing Edson past on that outside line. Jay's back up at the top 5. You see DJ Curtis back there. He has some of that heavy left side damage, so you got to wonder if the handling's affected on it. But one driver I've noticed for a little bit is Neal is going wide in that 94. That's going to be the wall. He came into the corner real fast, almost into Porta, but I was going to say he started this race 28th. He's inside the top 10, but it looks like he overshot that corner. The car very tight. Now complaining on the radio. Don't know what you guys did, but the car seems very tight in these corners now. Can't take him as fast as I could. So Neal might not be too happy with the crew on that one, but he is right now inside the top 10 or just outside the top 10 now as he's fighting with this pack. He's made a big run today as they're going to go 4 wide. DJ Gibson in the 53, 4 wide into turn 1 here at Texas World, and you can do that. It's a wide enough track, but man, that is dangerous by DJ Gibson in that 53. Looks like Butcher's going to carry, though. Back up front, Burkhart's gotten back around Yepes. It looks like if you're going to win this race, you got to go through Brady. And Yepes, though, he is one of the best in the NSDCA. He has the equipment underneath him. He's a king of 2-mile ovals. He's won Auto Club. He has 2 Michigan wins. And he's won at Talladega, which is another over 2-mile track. So Yepes knows how to get it done, as well as Pocono, which is a 2.5-mile track. So Yepes is bad fast on these very fast, big tracks. So Diego is going to be a threat for this race win now that he's up in second. Looking back, Morris is third, Edson fourth. Jefferson now is going to move to the inside of Bowers. He's back up to fifth. But Jay, after as many bad breaks as he's had this season, he has 3 wins. But he could have had probably 3 or 4 in the Cup Series alone, and probably every single race in the Truck Series alone, if we're being honest. Jay right now in the 5th position does not want to see this race go away from him. He had a car to beat, and he is up front battling with him. Bauer 6th, Neal 7th, Spurley tubes up to 8th, Curtis down 9th, Porta 10th. Gonna look the rest of the way through the field. Logan Cloud had an incident on pit road with Mikey Yamakaze getting into his pit box. Looks like Cloud, they didn't practice entering and exiting the pit box in practice, so that must have screwed him up a bit. But he's right now fighting Kukulon for the 16th position. He's gained some. Beniako, though, those tires not going to work for him. He's 29th, 1 lap down. Jacob Rose hanging on in 21st, 1 lap down. Tip Foster, I think he just had a poor pit stop. He's back in 24th, not able to gain much. But Diego Yepes now back into the race lead over Burkhart in second, sorry. Morris third, Edson fourth, Bowers up to 5th. So we got 4 Toyotas in this top 4. 2 Butcher Gatorade Motorsports, 2 SBR. So that is a great job for the Toyota Alliance up there. Carson Bowers, though, clear into 5th. He wants to get that first win this season and show he's deserving of a truck championship. Jay is now going to the very outside to get around DeLello. It's going to work. Jay's into 6th now. He has to try to chase down the rest of the grid. Dusty Neal's clear into 7th. DJ Curtis gets turned across by DJ Gibson, and the 5 car spins down the back straightaway. That is one of your top 3 in this race out of it now. There's not going to be enough time for him to catch back up, I don't think, with all that damage, but caution is out. 57 of 100 complete. What you do now, you come down, 4 tires and fuel. You can make it to the end no matter what. We saw the leaders were able to. You just got to save enough. You got to have some of that draft. But DJ Curtis gets turned off the turn number 2. And that's pretty much taking his chance at a race win out of this event. Top 6, though, were cleared of Zachary DeLello, the lap car. So hopefully these top 6 might be able to be under a blanket for this restart. But DJ Curtis, none too happy on the radio with Gibson now, but we'll have to take a replay of that. Curtis has just gone from a top driver tearing his way through the field now to pretty much last in the order. But up in front, Yepes, it looks like Burkhart's coming on down. Is this an alternate strategy we're seeing? Yes, it is. Yepes, Morris, Butcher, Porta think they can make it to the end of the race, and they're staying out. Burkhart's coming on in. Bowers coming on in. Edson, Jefferson. The thing is, though, you got older tires than the rest of the grid. So that's going to be the concerning factor there. Austin Johnson staying out as well. Larry Hagan staying out, probably for track position. Same with Jacob Rose, Tip Foster, Onjack. That's probably more for track position than anything. But we'll come down pit road. Hopefully Brady doesn't run into the 48 again, but we have a lot of drivers staying out on track for this restart. So this should be entertaining to watch. Coming on in, we'll see who takes the 2 tires, who takes the 4 tires. Beniako's in the 63, so it looks like the lappers, I guess, have been waved in to be able to come out like that. Dusty Neal, no, won't beat Jefferson, but Jay's going to get first out. Neal second. They're repairing the 99, so Friesen, Stephen Wallace Jr., Cloud, so repairs on the 99 is going to cost him big time. I don't think he was happy with the car's handling, and that's going to cost Brady a ton of track position, which is so important here at Texas World. That might be his chance at a race win done with only 40 to go, and if we continue to have a couple cautions sprinkled in there, he can't drive through the field in that time, I don't think. Jay Jefferson, Dusty Neal right there, though. We'll get the pit review up shortly. They all took 4 tires under that last caution, so I think it was a 2-tire call for Jay Jefferson, Dusty Neal, and the like. So we'll see how the field will line up when we go back racing here, but we got to see what happened to DJ Curtis off of turn number 2. DJ Curtis's day has gone from bad to worse in the number 5. He was up front all race long. That incident on pit road puts him back in traffic, and now he's 3 wide. He's looking to the outside. You're going to see DJ Gibson in the 53 dive to his inside, just get up a little bit, turns him across. Stephen Wallace Jr. also gets some front-end damage to it, but the 5 does a simple spin to the infield. Thankfully, no more damage that's already on than what's already on the 5, but it's still a torn-up race car on board with Gibson here. And you just see they're 3 wide, and Curtis just goes up. Gibson tries to dive to his inside, and Gibson just carries a little too much momentum, goes up the track a little bit, turns in to the 5 and spins Curtis around in front of the 65. DJ Curtis, his second incident today. He's been in since he was in the race lead just a few laps ago. Heartbreaking to see this 5 car being taken out of the race so early. The number 5 of Curtis around out of turn 2. Back live here for the running of the Lowe's Pro 600 here at Texas World. Diego Yepes, your race leader. Brandon Morrison second. Butcher Gatorade Motorsports running very well today. Ryan Butcher third. Matty Porta fourth. And fifth is Austin Johnson. Sixth, Larry Hagan. Seventh, Jacob Rose. Eighth, Tib Foster. Ninth, Peter Onjak. They all stayed out. Jay Jefferson came down for 2 tires in 10th. Dusty Neal came down for 2 and 11th, as well as Carter Friesen, Stephen Wallace Jr., Brady Burkhart, Austin Murray, Gatlin Downey, Matthew Eves, DJ Curtis, Logan Cloud, and Cody Goforth all took 2. The rest of the field took 4. So we have 3 differing pit strategies here. The guys that pit will be able to make it on fuel. The guys that didn't, we'll have to wait and see. Green flag is in the air. We are racing once again. Yepes, Morris, and Butcher, your top 3. Green flag is in the air. Already going back, Jefferson looking to the top, but Dusty Neal is going to be the one diving to the inside. Neal has come from the back to the front today, and now he has a chance at a race win, as Butcher is going to make a move for second on his driver, Brandon Morris. Not going to happen. The BGM guys stick together on the outside, pull away down the back. We got a lot of drivers fighting. DJ Curtis's day is pretty much done. You see that 5 is slow. He's also stuck behind the 75. That might be it, but Curtis's day is pretty much over for that Monster Motorsports driver. Burkhart at the back. He took 4 tires, but he has a long way to go if he wants to get to the front. It looks like Friesen a bit slow there as they come on out, but Porta now in the 20, looking for that 3rd spot on Ryan Butcher down the front straightaway. Still a long way to go. 37 laps around this 2-mile oval. That's at least 15-ish minutes of racing. Maybe 20 minutes of racing, depending on these lap times. But further back, it is a gaggle of cars back here. Downey going wide. But you see Jacob Rose, they are in the 63 or 36 this weekend. And they are driving right now, falling back quickly because they did not pit, and it's also a brand new race car. Basically, it's just a backup, so not doing very well. It wasn't set up well, and he's dropping, or they're dropping to the rear. Is Friesen. They're going to get into the back of the 36 as well, almost. They come down the front straightaway there. Up in front, though, Morris is taking the race lead away from Yepes, and he's now in the race lead. Yepes second, Porta in third, Butcher fourth. Now battle for fifth between Johnson. Tib Foster's up here as well. Carson Bowers came down and pit, but Foster really was just trying anything he could to get up to the front and try to get X-side some TV time as the 51 slams the wall at the back. Now it's a big one at the back. Kukalon's up and over in the 12, and we're racing back to the caution. Morris on the outside, Yepes on the inside. Diego's been passed out of this corner before for an important position, but this time Diego's going to pull away, and he's going to be your race leader coming back to the caution flag. But that turn 3 turn 2. They're getting so aggressive there. Beniako's in it. Kukulon went up and over. They're back on all fours. It was Cordell Smith into the wall. He's made some trouble today. Slowed down Curtis, basically, that got Gibson right up and into the back of him, and now he bounces off the wall and into the field. So Kukulon's day done. That's big for a championship contender, but another caution here. It looks like now we are hitting the point of the race where everyone's going to be aggressive and everyone is going for positions, and it's going to push some people out of the way to try to get there. Again, track position important. We saw how passing was at a premium for a good portion of this race. So really that track position, you're going to have to muscle your way around people. Jay Jefferson coming back down pit road in that 48 car might be an issue there. Matty Porta, rumors that a tire might have gone down at some point there, we're hearing on the radio, but Jay Jefferson is coming back in the 48 car. So I don't know if he's trying to top off on fuel. You can make it to the end. He showed you could, but maybe with how bad the tires were after like 35 laps, maybe he wants to have those fresh tires. He came down for 2 on that last pit stop, so maybe they're going to come in and either put 4 on or put left sides on for that car. A lot of guys at the back are also coming in, but the Lowe's Pro 48 is down pit road for Jay Jefferson, and they're going up on the left side's going to get 2 more tires on that, so it looks like it could be a 4-tire pit stop for this 48 team, and it will be. So they are changing their strategy, and they are putting 4 fresh ones on. It looks like they want to make sure that they have the best tires at the end of this race, or at least can drive on through. There is 42. Luke Evans is going to come back out. He's a lap down. Mikey Yamakaze was back there as well. But the outlook of this race has changed. Early on, it was Burkhart, Jefferson, and Curtis with the big stuff. Now Curtis was in a crash. Jefferson's going on an alternate strategy. And Brady Burkhart is mired back in the track, or back in the pack, after a 4-tire pit stop on that other pit cycle. So Yepes and Morris looking to be your new race leaders. Porta up here as well. Butcher and Austin Johnson, your top 5. We'll get a quick replay of what happened to Cordell Smith here at Texas World. Couple cautions early on. It brought us to the big one. Cordell Smith in the 51 goes 4 wide with Burkhart, Yamakaze, and Beniako, and it's just not going to work. You're way out of the groove, into the marbles up top. There's no grip. We've been having trouble with turn 2 all day. He's going to bounce off the wall back into the pack. Downey, Beniako, Kukulon gets spun, and Kukulon's going to get hit up and over by Matthew Eves. That's going to take the 12 out of this race today, but a lot of cars spinning around, some damage, a lot of cosmetic damage to these guys, but Cordell Smith just bouncing off the wall into Downey, into Beniako, and that second half of the grid just really, you can't get through it when you're 4 wide and the track's pretty much blocked. The visor cam this week was on board with Brady Burkhart, who's been dominating this race so far. He's back at the pack, but he makes it through this very nicely. The field implodes in front of him. Cordell Smith bounces off the wall, and they just kind of spin out in front of him down to the inside. It's a great maneuver by Brady getting through this accident. The spotter doing a great job getting that 99 through. But it is a pretty big incident here. A lot of cars torn up. A couple cars going behind the wall now, but we will bring you guys back to the action here. The third caution of the day at the Lowe's Pro 600. Sebastian Kukulon up and over after Cordell Smith turns in front of the field.
Boy, I'm glad we got Affleck, huh?
Affleck!
Oh, I've just got major medical.
Major medical.
But helps pay the doctors.
Where's the doctor's boy?
Oh, yeah? What about your family?
We added Affleck, so we get cash.
It's like our safety net. To help with the mortgage or whatever we need. So my family doesn't feel the pain, too.
Help protect your family at Affleck.com.
Lights on the pace car have gone out here at Texas World. Diego Yepes, your race leader. Brandon Morris in second. Matty Porta third. Ryan Butcher fourth. And in fifth is Austin Johnson. Dusty Neal, the 94 is going to blow up pacing. An engine issue with the 94. So a great run today from 28th into the top 10. And under this Texas heat, the engine will expire. He will now probably join Sebastian Kukulon, who was just involved in this accident, and the 05 of Colton Lane out of this race. But that is heartbreaking for Dusty Neal. That is big in the championship hunt for him. That's going to take him pretty much completely out of a running for the regular season title, and it's going to put him probably closing in on the edge of the chase now in that number 94 car. And if we have a brand new winner this week as well, that could be big in the championship wildcard hunt. But Yepes, Morris, Porta, Butcher, and Austin Johnson are your top 5. Carson Bowers, Tib Foster. Now Peter Onjak will move to 8th. Stephen Wallace Jr. 9th. And Larry Hagan is 10th. Logan Cloud, you saw there, was 11th. But Neal's going to bring that car down pit road. Heartbreaking there for the 94 team. Yepes, Morris, Porta, Butcher, and Johnson, your top 5 coming back around. We will go ahead back racing with 32 laps to go here at Texas World. Let's see if we can get a clean restart. Green flags back in the air. We are racing once again at Texas World. Morris and Porta. Porta is going to be the big one going down 3 wide for this race lead. He wants that track position. He wants that race lead here in the 20 car. He's looking to the inside to get it. Morris up the middle now. Butcher in the 83 is going to pull on up. But now Carson Bowers in the 25 is going to put a nose to the inside. He's the first driver on track who took 4 tires under that pit stop. That round of pit stops 2 cautions ago. Look at Jefferson. Started this race from the rear. He's already moving past all those damaged cars. He's back inside now. The top 20 as he's racing Matthew Eves for that 20th position. DJ Curtis there. There's Burkhart. Cloud dropping back. But up in front, a lot of these guys did not come down under that first round of pit stops under those cautions. Morris in the race lead. Porta second. Now Diego Yepes into the 3rd position. 4th is the 25 of Carson Bowers, and now 5th is Austin Johnson. But out of these guys, Bowers is the only one in the top 6 that came down under that caution about 10 laps ago, and he has 4 fresh good years on that 25, making a charge towards the race lead. As Yepes throws the block on him, trying to get around Porta, now Bowers all over the back of Yepes, pushing him into turn number 3 and 4 there. Tib Foster in 6th. Austin Murray, he's one of the guys that took 2 tires under that caution. Zachary DeLello's a lap down, but you also got Brady Burkhart. He took 4, and he's moving his way back up. And there's Jefferson in the 48. He's just mired in a bunch of traffic now as they're trying to get through this field. He's got to try to keep it clean and work his way through on those brand new 4 tires. But as they continue around, Logan Cloud's dropping back. Up in front now, Matty. Porta in the 20 is going to take that lead away. Yepes dropping back as Bowers shoots up the gap in the middle. Morris is there. Onjak's wide. Do not hit that wall. He does not. And down the back straightaway now, Morris versus Porta for that race lead, as Porta is going to get the run up to the outside. And he's going to clear the 55, but Morris is going to fight back on the bottom. Now Carson Bowers in the 25, looking to add his name as the 11th different winner this season. He's into the fight with those 4 fresh tires. Morris into the race lead, but here comes Carson Bowers. This is the chance he needed to finally score that victory this season, and he's using those 4 tires up. Austin Murray also has 2 fresh ones. Foster did not pit. Neither did Yepes, neither did Austin Johnson, nor did Porta or Morris. So these guys have about 15 lap older tires than them. They might be Morris wide. That's going to give Bowers the race lead, and he's going to soar past, give it to Carson Bowers for Angiato to the race lead here in the closing laps at Texas World. But as I was saying, these drivers, those guys that did not pit, those caution laps might have helped them save a bit of fuel. They're just going to have to hope that they saved enough. These guys were coming around. It was 45 lap stint to open this race that those race leaders were able to make it last. So we'll see if these guys like Morris, like Porta, Yepes, and Butcher, those masterful drivers in the NSDCA, could save enough fuel to make it to the end of this show. But Bowers in the race lead starting to pull away. Those guys that have pit under the last 2 cautions will be good on fuel. They should be, as long as they don't make a stupid fuel strategy call here at the end of the race. But now Austin Johnson, the 95, blocks Murray pretty much to the apron, doesn't let Murray really pull up, and that's going to slow Murray down. But now Johnson's stuck behind the 57 of Zachary DeLello. Tib Foster now trying to defend off DJ Gibson, but on those probably 15 lap older tires than everyone else, it's going to be hard. Jefferson now has caught and is about to pass Brady, as Brady's stuck behind one of the drivers, Ryan Butcher, his teammate that played that alternate strategy by staying out. But Jefferson now, those 4 fresh good years are moving him to the front. He has fresher tires than even Carson Bowers, and Jay is on a hard charge to the race lead now. He's just inside the top 10, it looks like, as he's going to move around Foster and now Austin Johnson. Foster going a little bit lower on him, trying to defend that spot, but these guys that didn't take tires under that caution, they're going to pretty much be sitting ducks as these other guys come to the front. But Bowers Look at the gap he's opened up now on those 4 fresher tires. He's now out, and that's going to be 0.8 of a second gained on Morris that time by. So Bowers now, he's just hoping he can run this race to the end. It stays green, and he could possibly come out with the race win here. DeLello's a lap car, but Porta is in third. Look at Jay Jefferson up into that 5th spot. Now look at Burkhart. He's gotten around Butcher. He's moving his way past Yepes, Foster, Johnson, and Edson up here as well, as Johnson's going to go down and possibly block him like he blocked Murray. But Burkhart's on the charge to the front, but Jefferson is up in now fighting for that 4th position on DJ Gibson. Gibson came down and took 4 tires on that pit stop a couple cautions ago, so he should have tires as well. But Jefferson, with those much fresher tires than the rest of the grid, well, maybe not much fresher, but fresher tires than the rest of the grid, he's now up into the 3rd spot. Jacob Edson chasing him. Edson also has those 4 tires as well as Gibson, so it looks like the 4-tire call starting to play starting to be the main factor here at the closing rate of this race. Bowers needs to try to stretch that gap and hope that Morris and the lap car DeLello hold up Jefferson enough to try to keep JJ away. But this could be a race that JJ does not want to lose. He wants to win in front of the hometown crowd for Texas Star Racing and for himself, a Texas native. He's up in the 3rd position, chasing down now Morris and DeLello. But Edson in that 82, he's been showing speed as of late. He's been making a late charge for this championship chase berth run. He's 22nd in points, but he's been up front in a lot of these races. It just unwinds at the end of it. He's trying to move his way up right now, sitting in the 5th position. But there is Burkhart in 6th. Jefferson needs to pull away from the 99 if he really wants to have an ease of a chance to win this race, because Burkhart, even on older tires, slightly older tires, he was faster than Jay for that entire opening stint until probably the last 10 or 15 laps, when DJ Curtis was really the person that helped Jay catch and pass that number 99. Burkhart clearing to 6th. Murray in 7th. He's on those 2 tires. Now as they come down the front straightaway, Burkhart was mired back in traffic. He and Jay have driven their way through this field, and now Bowers has opened up a 3-second gap on Morris. Jefferson has fallen back 3 seconds. Now he's trying to work his way around DeLello and Morris there. They might have to go 3 wide for it, but he cannot get a big run off the corner. It's going to be 3 wide. He's pushing DeLello, trying to get around these 2 so he can chase down Bowers, and it's not going to happen in this corner, as DeLello is going to be sitting right in front of him. So we'll see how Jay, especially after one of those restarts where he actually got held up by a lap car, how his tempers are right now in that number 48 car. But right now we have 22 laps to go as Jay Jefferson's trying to chase down Bowers. It's a 3.2-second gap. We'll see if Jay can catch at the end. Edson now into 3rd. Gibson in 4th, so the top 4 all have taken 4 tires on their last pit stop cycle, and so has Burkhart in 6th. So once he passes Morris, that'll be the top 5 all with those 4 fresh tires as they come on around. So it looks like the tires, this older track surface, really eating up the tires today, and it's showing as Burkhart's going to make short work of of Morris there coming out of the corner. Bowers in your race lead. Jefferson 2nd. Edson 3rd. Gibson 4th. Burkhart 5th. We're going to take one more commercial break. Bring you guys back to the action, to the final 20 laps here as we close in at the end of the longest race of the NSDCA season, the Lowe's Pro 600 at Texas World.
Just when you thought it couldn't get any better. Think again. Expect the unexpected. The AAA Texas 500 is the center ring November 3rd, Texas Motor Speedway. Get your ringside seats today.
Back live here at Texas World, coming to 19 laps to go as Bowers crosses the line here. He's lost a lot of time to Jay. Jay's gained about a second in the last few laps, but right now it looks like it stays about the same distance between the top 2. There's Edson and Gibson fighting for 3rd and 4th. Burkhart has kind of stalled out in 5th. I think with that damage that he had, it's really affecting how strong that 99 is. We had an incident under the commercial break, however, or actually I should say a couple laps ago, before the commercial break. Mikey Yamakaze in the 30 car actually got into Jacob Rose after Rose hit the outside wall. They bounced off. Yamakaze spun into the inside grass. However, they were at the back of the pack. He was off of racing surface, so there was no caution thrown for it. Yamakaze is back now, 29th. I believe he's the last car 1 lap down. No, he isn't. The 42 actually is. I don't know where the 42 is on track of Luke Evans. Evans actually coming off of pit road, so the 42 car, it looks like that was a scheduled pit stop for the 42 team. But now Burkhart, there's a battle for the top 3. Jefferson starting to lose time on Bowers. He might have burned up too much tire driving his way through the field. But now Gibson is going to get cleared by Burkhart. Here comes Brady now. He might be able to get up there, start fighting with Jay, and that could be home free for Carson Bowers. But Gibson's going to get a run off the corner back to the inside. 17 laps to go here at Texas World, the longest race of the season coming to a close. This has been a long broadcast, but this race has been quality. We've seen comers, we've seen goers, we've seen drives through the field, and we've seen some big crashes that have changed the outlook of this race and have given Carson Bowers a chance at scoring his first win of the season and getting the 11th different driver in victory lane this year. Jay Jefferson, though, is going to have to mount a DJ Gibson charge here to try to win this race. Not DJ Gibson, DJ Curtis charge from at Darlington when he caught and passed Morris in the closing laps. Of course, the fuel ran out on him. He had to come in and pit, but Jay needs to now start getting that car dialed in. He's losing time now. It's back up to 3 seconds between Bowers and Jefferson. Jay's got to try to catch him in 15 laps. It's doable, especially for some of the greatest drivers in the NSDCA history. But Carson Bowers, one of the guys who isn't in the GOAT status yet because of his lack of wins. He's had 2 championships. He knows how to get it done here in the trucks and in the Mountain Dew Custom Series. And if he can win today and get his way into the chase, he could go for the Triple Crown in the NSDCA, winning in all 3 National Series divisions. But out in front is Carson Bowers. He is just 14 laps away next time by from taking this victory. He's opened up 3 seconds on Jefferson, 6 seconds back to Edson, Burkhart, and Gibson. So it looks like without a caution, Burkhart is not going to win this race yet again after being dominant all race long. But this will be his 8th top 5 in 11 races if he can take home this race victory, which is absolutely outstanding for the 99 team. DJ Gibson sitting 5th. This is a fantastic opportunity for him. Probably one of the best runs he's had since Road America when he came back from injury. So DJ in the top 5 on pace. Very nice to see there. And Jacob Edson for Shade Burkhart Racing. He's the lowest driver in points for them. No, he is not the lowest driver in points for them. Butcher is 14 points behind him entering this race. But Edson has not had a good season at all. Burkhart up there winning, about to win the regular season title. Has 8 top 5s if he can close it out here today. But Jacob Edson in this 82 has not been a bad driver the last few races. There's been stuff that's gone wrong for him, but he's been up front at Richmond. He's been up front here at Pocono. He's been a very strong driver in that 82 car, trying to continue that run today here at Texas World. But Jefferson closing in big time on Bowers. Carson complaining that the car has been too tight the last few laps. The tires going away on the 25. And now Jay Jefferson has caught Bowers by over a second and a half these last few laps. Bowers' car starting to go away from him, and Jay Jefferson in the 48 is starting to close in big time. There might be an issue with the 25. He is very far off the pace for that 25 team, and here comes Jay now. He's going to fly to the inside of Bowers. If he can get past him, that's probably a race victory. Nothing reported on the 25, but he is complaining of handling issues now as he has lost 2.5 seconds in the last 3 laps to Jay Jefferson. Now Jay, he was not able to pass the race leader Brady Burkhart without the help of DJ Curtis. Jay is so far ahead of the group that he does not have a chance to get up to Bowers. And it looks like Bowers might have just pulled back away. Jay might be having some issues in that 48 car now. The tires were getting to what was basically the middle of that first fuel run at the opening stint of this race, and the tires were shot. Drivers were sliding around. They weren't driving fast laps, and now Carson Bowers in the 25 has to try to hang on over Jay Jefferson. He's opened it back up to about a second between them, but Jay still has some of that draft coming down the front straightaway, and even still, it wasn't Jay that was catching him. You can tell that Bowers just did not hit the last few laps good, because Edson and Burkhart are now were within 4 or 5 seconds of them. Now they're about 5.5 back. But Carson Bowers now, he can't just ride away to an easy victory with 10 to go next time by. He's going to have to try to hold off Jay Jefferson. We saw it last season. Bowers in the chase held off Jay Jefferson. Now, Jay did have that issue at Iowa that pretty much sealed his fate for the loss of the championship. But Bowers was the class of the field last year against Jay, the most consistent driver. Jay was a winner, but Bowers was consistent. And now Bowers is going to have to try to win this race to keep the streak alive, or he's going to be falling to Jay Jefferson in this event. Jay's going to throw it in. A big dive in the 48. Can he make it stick? Yes, he does. Bowers' car is starting to fade. Jay Jefferson's car coming to life, and now Bowers has lost the race lead in the track position to Jay Jefferson. 10 laps to go here at Texas World. The Lowe's Pro 48, we said at the beginning of this race, he wants to win for Texas. He wants to win the Lowe's Pro car. He wants to win the Lowe's Pro race with the Lowe's Pro car, and now he's pulling away. Bauer's car is fading. You just see he's not accelerating off of the corner. The tire's gone. He has no grip. Again, Jefferson has maybe 6 or 7 laps extra to use on those tires, but he had to drive through the field. No matter what, Carson Bowers might have just lost this race now, because I don't think that car is going to be able to catch back up and contend for a race victory on Jay unless Jay really screws up here at Texas. But now Bowers has to try to overdrive that car with all those older tires. You got Edson and Burkhart back here battling for third. Riley Spurley Tube has shown up to the top 5. I don't know how. It looks like the field's spread out. Did we have anyone come down pit road? Doesn't look like it. Jefferson slow off the corner. He's starting to fade. The tires in this late run. Now drivers starting to make charges. Here comes Bowers back in the 25 in the Aflac colors. Looking for the race lead once again. 7 laps to go at Texas World. Looks to the inside. Will not be able to make it stick. But we have a battle for this race win on our hands. Jefferson, one of the greatest drivers of all time in the NSDCA. Carson Bowers, the only driver with 2 NSDCA championships. Looking for his 3rd this season if he could turn this horrible luck around he's had. He's chasing down Jay Jefferson, another driver who's been mired with bad luck to start this season. And Bowers real slow through the corner. It looks like he might have hit a bump and it's going to lose him some time. But now does he get the momentum coming off with that draft back on the throttle? Bowers getting a big slingshot down the front straightaway. Can he make a move back to the inside of Jefferson? And that's for the race lead right there. Back into turn 1 once again. 6 laps to go next time by. And Carson Bowers in the 25. He wants this lead back. On the inside line, it's not going to be as much power off the corner. Jefferson uses the outside line to his advantage. But coming off Bowers, using the entire racetrack. Right to the inside of Jefferson again. Still down the back straightaway. They're drag racing down the back. Bowers lets him go. But Jay on that outer line might be able to carry more momentum off of the corner. Will Bowers be able to catch him now as he loses some time there coming through 3 and 4? Jefferson has opened the gap back up to a big margin, and that might be it. It might be too little too late now for Bowers, as he had a horrible 3 and 4. But do not count out. There's Jacob Rose in the 36. The backup car for Joseph Strigley Racing might play a factor in in who wins this race, as Jay is now on the back of that 36 coming off of the corner. He's going to have to make an evasive maneuver down to the bottom. He's going to have to try to pass him in this corner if he wants to get by him, as here goes Jay to the bottom of Rose. And again, the inside line, very hard to pass on. Rose is going to give him the spot. Now Bowers has to work his way past him. Do not count out. There's Mikey Yamakaze, Peter Onjak up there. Do they end up playing a factor with just 5 to go here at Texas World? Edson and Burkhart have now dropped out 7 seconds. Jefferson is running fast lap after fast lap, and Bowers has lost so much time. The tires are gone on that 25. He's 2 seconds back, and I think it's just now home free for Jay Jefferson. That strategy coming down for the 4 tires at the end. 1 car into the wall. Peter Onjak looks like he might have bounced off the wall. But the 48 car of Jay Jefferson played that strategy, used that last caution to take 4 tires, and now those tires are what's going to possibly give him a win. He's 4 laps away from doing it, looking for his 4th win this season in all series. The tiebreaker there, it's 5 wins in multiple series in a season. Logan Cloud last season won 2 Mountain Dew Custom Series. and I believe it was 3 truck races. It might be 6 actually, because Cloud did win Kansas. But anyway, it's either 5 or 6 wins for most in a season. Jay Jefferson is 3 laps away from getting his 4th win in the Cup and Truck Series this year. This 48 team has shown they had speed, shown they had potential, and they want to win in front of the home crowd. Carson Bowers had to deal with Rose. The tires are just not there anymore. He gave one last valiant effort, but it's dropping fast for the 25 team, and it's just pretty much gone for that. Now Riley Spurley Tube has cleared him. He's up into the 3rd spot. He might have came down with Jefferson too. A lot of the guys at the back actually came down under that caution. Cody Goforth is in the 8th position. He's moving his way through. So it looks like those guys that pit under that last caution, they are going to be the ones benefiting from this. Jay Jefferson and those tires are holding up in the 48 cars. Bowers just continues to lose time. The tire's gone. And now Jefferson, 2 laps away from a race victory in Texas. Crosses the line. Next time he wants to see that flag white. If it's yellow, it could cost him a win. Bowers gained 2/10 there. If Bowers somehow gains on JJ 3 seconds in this race, I think Bowers would just have to be the greatest of all time. There's Peter Onjak in the 44, his alliance partner, Jay's alliance partner. But Carson Bowers for Onjato is Peter's driver. I mean, Peter is a respectful guy. He beat Jay Jefferson for the inaugural Mountain Dew Custom Series title. I don't think he's going to stay in his way, but I don't think Jay even needs to worry about catching him right now. He's just 1 lap away, coming around. The white flag is out. The Texas crowd on their feet. The Lowe's Pro 48 trying to win at Texas World in front of the hometown crowd. 1 more lap around this 2-mile oval. There's Peter up in front of him. JJ really does not have to pass Peter. He has such a big gap over Bowers, but I mean, just pass him anyway to get him out of your way. Onjak's slow on the exit. He's going to blow past him, and Peter moves out of the way for Jay. 10 winners this season have won the first 10 races, but Jay won Richmond, and coming out of turn number 4, he's going to win at Texas World 2. Out of turn number 4, in front of the home crowd, they're on their feet. Jay Jefferson and the 48 team will win at Texas World. Bowers comes home second. It's 10 seconds back to the battle for 3rd. Brady Burkhart's going to get it. Spurley Tube's going to lose out at the end. He's going to finish 6th as Gibson snags that top 5. The rest of the field coming across. It's going to take a while for them to cycle out. Cody Goforth trying to hang on to an 8th position. That's going to be great for the North Border Motorsports guys. Curtis fights his way back to 11th, but the damage to that car being involved in 2 crashes. Cloud in his debut comes home 12th. But it's Jay Jefferson, your first repeat winner of the season, 4-time winner in the Trucks and Cup this year. He will be able to burn it down in front of the home crowd for Lowe's in the Lowe's Pro 600. And what a race we had. Jay drove his heart out through that one. Bowers held up a fight, but you see all the tires were just gone at the end. Jay with those 4 fresh ones on that restart blew past all of them, came down and took the victory. This race was a long one. It was nice to see these guys fighting for race wins, the biggest race of the season, and now put on a fantastic show here in the state of Texas. Much better than the truck race for sure. Brady Burkhart and Jay Jefferson and DJ Curtis were the class of the field for the first half. An incident on pit road changes the whole outlook of things. Burkhart pretty much damages the 5 car and the 99 pretty harshly. The 48 was able to get out of it pretty cleanly, which I think is what really gave him the win here. But that alternate strategy at the end, I know the fans hate the pit strategy because they run out, but that is a picture-perfect strategy race. We had some cautions in that basically right after the second half began, and that really shook up the field. We had those guys, they were able to make it 55 laps, so if that race went green, we probably could have seen those leaders come in on lap maybe 55 or 60 even. But Jay Jefferson comes out with the victory. A fantastic performance in Texas. The crowd is cheering, Jay's cheering, and that is great to see Texas Star Racing finally win in the state of Texas. We thank you guys so much for tuning in to the NSDCA this weekend. The Sundrop Cup Series race definitely blew the truck race out of the water, but the truck race was interesting for its own right with the absolute chaos we saw from engine failures and crashes out at the Texas Motor Speedway. It was an exciting 100 laps here at Texas World. We can't wait to come back next season for this event. But now we head out next week, or in a couple weeks, to the newly revamped Nashville Fairgrounds. The NSDCA was able to fix up the track, and we go racing at the Nashville Fairgrounds, finally. Sure to be exciting next week, but we got a lot of racing left this season. 7 races until we get our chase for the championship in the Cup Series, and 6 races for the trucks. Thank you guys so much for watching here on the NSDCA here at Texas World. And it was a great race, as we said. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next time on the NSDCA.